maybe it's a deep. Okay, but truth be told, asking somebody who you are, that's probably one of the deepest questions.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep already.
Yeah, but I just the background of what formed who you are today. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that. Don't deep it that much.
I'd say. Grew up in Guyana, small town Guyana in Limpopo. I grew up pretty well. I wouldn't say it was decent. I would say pretty well, but it was decent. I was fortunate enough to be exposed to, I'd say, a good educational background. And then, from there, obviously moved to Joburg. You know, everyone from Limpopo, you move to Joburg. I mean, and that's the whole goal, you know. Yeah. And obviously, you get there, get exposed to other things and so on. So basically get to UJ and I'm doing my metallurgy course, and then I found myself fixing my friends, or I'd say my restmates' computers.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, no, man, this is actually what I need to be doing. So now I need to move to IT. Right? So obviously I fell in love with IT, moved to Durban, and that's where everything changed for me. I think Durban was basically where I found my, I'd say not really my identity as compared to now. But it actually formed a lot during that time.
Sure.
Because as much as it was a shift from what I initially thought I was going to do when I left high school, I actually discovered that there was actually more to me than what I thought was there. You know, so I would say when I was exposed to, I'd say the IT industry when I was in Durban, I got to, basically, you know, if you know IT, you would understand trading. So basically what I was trying to say is when I discovered Forex during that time, it was easy for me to grasp.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the IT background.
Oh,
you understand?
yeah.
So that played a huge role, even today, you know.
And this all happened in Durban, right?
This all happened in Durban.
Okay.
You know?
From Limpopo, Joburg,
yeah, imagine.
Durban,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Cape Town now.
You know, if I had to read you my whole life story, it's quite long. I won't lie to you. So I'm just going to cut everything short. But everything happened in Durban. Everything started changing for me in Durban because even, you know, like your what's this guy, cash flows in Durban. You know?
Yeah.
So everything started, you know, I was starting to become, you know, like interested in what these guys are up to, you know. So I think I was lucky at that time when these guys were still, you know, introducing Forex in SA, I'd say. I know it's been around, but I mean, they made it popular.
Yes.
So I was around that space during that time. So that's when I actually discovered that, okay, well, this could be something for me.
Yeah.
You know, but funny part is, you might even know the person. You know, you're in class and you're enjoying your course, and then one guy just decides he's gonna drop out. He's not coming. I'm not encouraging anyone to drop out though. But then next thing you see him in a Go 5, I think that time, Go 5 GTI, and then you come in a Go 6, and you know?
Yeah.
And I'm asking myself, what is this guy doing now? Just a few months ago, he was in class with me. You know? And now he's driving all these cars and buying all these sneakers, you know? So these guys happen to start Go Forex. I'm not sure if you know Go Forex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So these guys happen to start Go Forex. His name is Ashley.
Ooh.
You know?
Really?
So, yeah. So, me and Ashley were in the same class. Like, can you imagine? And you look at him now, right?
Yeah.
So, I reached out to Ashley and like, dude, you got to show me what's happening here, you know? But then that took me a while because I didn't really have the capital.
Okay.
Because obviously I was a student. We actually touched base. I think it was my first year when I got a job. So luckily, I also got a job in Durban.
Okay.
So I was working in IT as well. So now I had the capital. So now I can call home and say, bro, you know, show me what you're doing.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. So those are the time where, you know, they were doing the major keys and so on. And so it was quite an interesting time. And for me, it actually worked out. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I think it also came with the understanding of the market because I did my own research, obviously. And then sitting down with someone that obviously had a working strategy. You know, so for me, it was like, okay, no, this is it. You know, and that's when I started, you know, trading.
Okay. Yeah. Why was it important for you to, because you're talking about having the capital, why was that so important for you at the time?
I'd say, because, actually that's a good question, right? Because with the capital that I thought I needed when I was actually working, it was actually not the capital that actually made me a good trader. Yeah. You know, I actually became a better trader with less capital than the one I actually had raised up.
And actually crazy. It is actually one of those misconceptions that a lot of people have. A lot of people are always on some, once I have the money, I'm going to show them. And then you get somebody to fund them, and it's like, no, it's tough.
It's not, because now you got the skin in the game, you know. So it was quite interesting time for me. I would say the capital that I thought I needed, because I remember I actually joined with a couple of guys who had friends like, okay, here's money, here's 3,000, here's, you know, and they're like, just go and do this thing.
Oh yeah,
you know, Ashley's gonna show you everything. Just go and do this thing. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that, and yeah, it played out, man. It actually did. You know.
Yeah. And then what happens from there? When you say played out, what played out exactly?
Okay, well, since we have time.
Yes.
Since we have time. So I'd say in the beginning, obviously, I came in there understanding the market.
Okay.
But not knowing any trading strategy. So it's different because you can understand the market. You can understand, okay, you need to buy, you need to sell. This is a MetaTrader application. You know, for me, software was not a big thing. I mean, I understood software. So, but then a strategy now, a working strategy. Because next thing you just buy and then you're lucky, right?
Yeah.
You buy, you're lucky, you sell, you're lucky if you don't have a strategy. It's just basic luck. So I'd say everything played out because after I sat down with those guys, with Go Forex at that time, you actually, I'd say for me, I was fortunate, I don't know about other guys, I was fortunate that there was actually unlimited time that he spent with us, showing us this is actually how you do it, you know? And with all the losses, all the capital lost and everything like that, eventually, when you grasp that specific strategy, you started seeing the profit, you know? And it went from just buying and selling to waiting. You know, it's a waiting game. You know, so there's one thing that I actually learned there was basically waiting for the right entry, you know? So if anyone knows about the major key, it's basically the entry strategy. Okay. If you get the perfect entry there, then you're good to go. You know? Yeah. So it was basically more like a waiting game now. You know, and basically knowing what time to trade. So I didn't even know what times to trade. You know, I just wake up any morning, any day, you're trading, you know. But then there's actually specific times that you can actually trade. That also work for your trading style. You know, so for me, that was, I'd say, a wake-up call.
Sure.
You know? Yeah, so that's when everything changed, you know.
You know, you talk about losses. You just mentioned losses right now. What was the first real loss you took on the charts?
Well, I would say I had a couple of losses, but the first real loss was the one that hits you hard. Eh?
Okay.
You know, like, I remember I had a 40 grand. 40 grand, my account was about 40,000 or so.
Yeah.
And I lost it, you know, within 2 days.
Yeah, but was this like before you sat down with the guys or was it after?
It was after.
Okay.
It was after. It was when I thought I knew it all. You know?
So is that the lesson you took away from it?
It was after. It was when I thought, okay, you know what, I got this.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so I'd say that for me was the biggest loss. Because I remember that even now.
How do we get to that, actually?
It was actually, I remember it was a Euro odd.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trading the Euro odd at that time. So obviously it was an uptrend for a long time. I won't forget this. And there was even a time where I even booked flights. I flew to Joburg. I was partying with my friends, you know, the whole weekend, and then you're trading on a Monday. So with the way I was trading at that time, it was still an uptrend, right? And then everything just changed from there, you know. And I started seeing my account going from like a good profit going all the way to a negative, you know, and you're still holding on to it, And yeah, that's when I actually had to learn when to take my losses. The reason why I actually lost so much is as I saw the account going back, the drawbacks, I started funding again. No, let me just give it a little bit more room. Started funding again. Taking from one trading account, transferring to that trading account. You know, it's going to come back. And it didn't, bro.
It never comes back.
It never comes back. You can make profit for weeks, I'm telling you. But then that one loss that you refuse to close, that's the one that takes you out. I don't know how, you know. That's the one that takes you out. So for me, that was when I actually decided, you know what, I'm never, ever actually just going to freelance this thing and just say, no stop losses, no take profit. I'm just going to go through it, you know? Yeah, so, yeah, that was it. That was it, yeah.
What's a painful but necessary lesson that you feel like that every trader needs to experience?
You need to experience losses, eh? Yeah, you need to experience losses, and you need to also get to a point where trading is no longer exciting. Like for me right now, trading is not exciting at all. You make a profit is a profit because that's what you're supposed to do. You know, no one claps hands for that accountant with a balance sheet that plays out. I mean, like, oh yes, you know, because you're supposed to do that. You know? So it needs to get to a point where it doesn't get exciting anymore. You know, it's because that's what you're supposed to be doing at the end of the day. If you have a target of $10 a day, you make your $10. There's nothing exciting about that. And if you make 100,000 rand and you get excited, it almost kind of feels like luck. You know, you're not sure if it was going to actually reach that. You know, so you need to actually get to a point where everything just becomes not so exciting. It might get a bit boring, which it should at some certain days. The perks of it, obviously, now you're reaping the rewards of trading. You're financially flexible. You know, that's exciting. But the actual trading itself, you actually need to come to a point where it actually dies down. The excitement dies down a little bit, and then you actually start trading for real.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. So after that 40K loss, where's your mindset, your mind state right at this point?
I didn't even want to trade anymore, actually, at that time.
Yeah.
I remember after that loss, I tried to look like I'm trading, you know. Yeah, like, you know, showing the boys your demo accounts. You blew your account. You blew your account, you know.
Yeah.
So you're showing the boys your demo account, and you're also trying to remind yourself that I'm actually a good trader. I can still do this, you know. And yeah, so my mind state at that time was quite bad. But then, obviously, because luckily at that time, I hadn't stopped working. I was still working.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to wait for the next salary now. Refund this thing and start again. You know? And that's what I did.
Yeah.
You know?
So so that's all you did? Is that how you brought yourself out of that hole?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'd say that was it, Because I think the roller coaster of emotions when you're trading is so much that you even get used to it. That there are days where it's not looking good for you, or a week even. You know, it's just like drawdowns the whole week, you know? And I think it got to a point where I got used to that, you know? So even when I made a loss, it's like, okay, I'll just fund again. You make a loss, okay, I'll just fund again. As long as you don't stop, you know? So that's how I actually got myself out. And I think I was also obsessed with trying to, I'd say, prove to myself that I can actually do it again, you know? Because at that time, it was, you know, when you with an account like that, obviously with withdrawals and everything else and spending, and you still have an account that big, you know, it was like, okay, well, I think I've got it all figured out, you know? So I just had to remind myself that I can do it again. I can do it again, and then from there, the account will be a little bit more, you know? And obviously, this was like within my first year of trading.
Yeah.
You know?
Really? Your first year?
First year. You know, so it was quite interesting. You know?
Yeah, so how do things eventually progress moving forward from that point?
I think from that point, I decided to take it more seriously.
Okay.
So what we did was we created like a group of guys that I also worked with. I think there were about 2 guys that I worked with, and then we'd just wake up middle of the night, you know, we check the Asian sessions, and then we all trade. So I just made sure that I surround myself with people that will hold me accountable, you know. So basically, if we wake up and we're going to be trading as a group, obviously now we make a decision as a group. Okay, guys, you know, what's the story with the US, and you know, and then so I think that for me became more serious because now there was other guys that you could consult with, you know. So it also became easy to follow your guidelines because now we had to set guidelines. You know? Yeah. So you had to follow guidelines and to follow your targets, and obviously to have a monthly withdrawal target as well instead of just profit. You know. So you know, okay, in a month I need to be able to make this, you know, because my whole plan was to quit my job.
I think eventually that's
My whole plan was to quit my job, and I think that's something we need to talk about because that's where I made the biggest mistake.
Sure.
That's where I made the biggest mistake because there's this misconception that if you're trading, you don't need any other source of income, right? Though what happens if you make a loss? I was lucky that time when I made a loss, I was still working at that, so I could refund my account. Right. So what happens now if you trading and you make a loss? You don't have anywhere else to get the money to refund, you know? So I think for me, that was the biggest mistake because I didn't understand that I was being lazy. You get it? I was actually being lazy because I thought the freedom of trading, you know, you just wake up in the morning, you trade, you make money, you can go to the gym, you can go to the golf range, you know, just shoot some balls there and there, you know? But if you look at it in a wider perspective, that's basically me being lazy, you know? And then when you're lazy, you've got so much time in your hands. What are you going to do?
Sure.
You know, what are you going to do? You probably go out, spend recklessly, do things you're not supposed to be doing, you know?
Lazy man activities.
Yeah, lazy man activities, you know, basically. Sure. So it was that for me. And I think also that's actually when I started, I would say there was institutional group that we had was called Royal Capital at the time. So Royal Capital, we just like had a couple of students and they would trade because now you got so much time on your hands. You don't even know what to do. So now are you self-employed? What is it? Are you a trader? You know, are you a teacher? What are you?
Yeah.
There's just so much going on. You know? Yeah, so yeah, I'd say I don't know if I lost the plot there for
no,
me.
No, we good. Trust me, just keep talking. I got you.
Yeah. So I think from there that's when things started changing for me.
Yeah.
To start to actually do things a little bit more professionally.
Okay.
You know, to be serious about what you need to do. Are you going to invest in another business? Are you going to start a business? You know, because what we did during the same time when I was trading, what we did, me and a few friends of mine, we tried to do this whole fiber trenching business and everything like that.
Okay.
You know, just so you can stay busy, basically. Because you trade in the morning. I used to wake up at 4, and then about 9 in the morning, I'm done.
Sure.
You know, what do you do with the rest of the time, you know? So me and a couple of guys were like, okay, let's just start businesses. Let's just dabble there and see what we can do, you know? And I'd say thanks to, obviously, trading, I had so many failed businesses. And I was able to start another one and another one and another one, you know? So
what has that done for you, the failed businesses? Because I think as of lately, you know, I've been having conversations about failure a lot. You know, there's a quote I recently just learned. I hope I'm saying it correctly, but I'll paraphrase from what I understand of it. It says, you don't fail 10,000 times. You just found 10,000 ways it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work, yeah. Also, you know, it's also a reminder of why do you want to start this business? Are you doing it for the money? Are you doing it because someone told you about it? You saw an opportunity? Are you passionate about it? You know? Obviously, your passion must align with the money as well, somewhere, because it's a business. It needs money, you know. So I would say with the failing businesses, in my early stages, so I'm going to speak of my experience. In my early stages with the failing businesses, it actually just led me towards something that I was actually good at. So I went back to the drawing board. I'm like, what can I do? I know I can trade, but what else can I do? And I was like, okay, you know what? I can code. So let me just start a web development company. So at that time, there was this travel agency, met through connections, you know, going out, you know, socializing. So there's a guy who owned a travel agency and managed to, you know, secure a contract with them. So they were kind of like financing me for a while. So that kind of put me afloat for a while, you know. So that was, I would say, my business or my biggest client at the time. So even when I left my job, I already knew where I'm going to get this, the income from, you know, until obviously things changed during COVID. You know, so everything was smooth until obviously my biggest client had to shut down.
Sure.
You know, remember first month they couldn't pay, second month they couldn't pay, third month. Then you know, okay, no, this money's not going to come in now.
Yeah.
You know, so now I just got to go back to trading. You know, and start another business. You know, so yeah, I would say with at least trading, it actually gave me, I'd say, a source of income, man. You know, no matter what I was trying to do, it always gave me a source of income. Sure. I could try something, it fails. I could get this job and I, you know, leave it, and then, but at least there would be like at least a source of income to start something. You know.
What I'm understanding is that diversification is extremely important.
Very important. And I think that's one thing that I actually want to stress today when it comes to what do you do with your profits? You're making money. What do you do with your profits? Are you going to buy cars? You're going to buy houses? You know? And until when? You know, you're going to go out, you're going to party? Yes, but until when? You know? So, and when you hit that wall, what do you do? You know, so it also... I'd say use this as a tool, because no one just trades because you just like seeing charts. I don't think there's anyone in the world that says, I like looking at charts. You trade?
No, some people are just like, I'm just obsessed with the charts.
No, but you need to make money. You need to make money. And then when you make the money, what do you do with it? Because the end goal, I'd say, is just to be financially free. You know? or flexible at least, you know?
Yeah.
So just when it comes to diversifying, I think it's really important because you could even, depending on the type of trader that you are, you could even be a doctor and a trader. You know, I've got friends that are engineers, man, that are still trading today. You know, but you never see on the socials or anything like that. But they trade every day. They will tell you, hey, I just bought a new big screen TV with my account that I just, you know, they're flexible.
Yeah.
You know, so it basically what I'm trying to say is you don't really need to say, since I'm a trader, this is the only thing that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
There's other things that you could do that you're actually quite good at. You know, but would you leave trading? Would I leave trading? No. Sure. No matter how successful I may get in another business, I would never stop trading. You know.
Yeah.